If you've bought a condo as a pre-sale in the last, let's say 2 to 5 years, you're probably sitting there like many people out there asking, do I really want to close on this property? I mean, Trump is threatening tariffs. We've got high interest rates compared to when I originally bought it. Maybe it's best that I just put it on the market and sell it as an assignment. Well, I'm here to tell you today that is a lot more difficult right now than you think. And in fact, a lot of people are actually losing money on their deposits selling as an assignment rather than breaking even or definitely not making money. And we're going to talk about why that is in today's market. Let's dive right into it. You're listening to the Manning Up on Real Estate podcast with your host, Cameron Manning. We bring you the industry experts each episode who will help you man up on your real estate career. Welcome back to another episode of the Manning Up After Dark series here on the Manning Up on Real Estate podcast. And yes, we are doing another pre-construction talk. We have recently did one where we talked about some of the issues when it comes to selling pre-construction condos as an assignment. We have run into a whole bunch of new issues that I have never experienced in my career, which is causing us a lot more issues when it comes to getting our clients' properties sold. So I'm going to break down a couple of the reasons why this is the case. And there's really three main reasons we're going to cover. We're going to talk about inventory, we're going to talk about restrictions, and we're going to talk about sharks. So the first one is the market. And of course, it's really easy to blame the market, I know. But the reality is we have seen a significant spike over the last 6 months in the inventory available. And what is happening is as rates were coming down, we saw more sellers put their properties on the market and suddenly we have flooded it. There's so much choice for buyers. Now we've seen some buyer activity increase, but when you have the choice of buying something that is completed, done, and move-in ready, or you can buy your contract that says this is what the property is going to be, a 1-bedroom and den or whatever it is in this project, going to be completed approximately at this time. Buyers are going to go for the property that's move-in ready. Most of them with their goals, they want to get into their home, move in and settle. They don't want the uncertainty of buying your contract and hoping that they're going to be closing based on when we estimate the completion. And a good example of this is the fact that we've had a project where we sold some assignments and I'm getting asked every single week, when is this going to close from the other side? It was estimated to close December 5th. We're now February 7th. And it still hasn't closed. And we just got a new information saying probably going to be another couple of months before it actually completes. That's not ideal for a lot of buyers. That's why they're going to go for the resale properties versus the assignment of contracts. Another big issue when it comes to the market too is because of the change in the economic climates we're in, we're seeing a lot of investors dumping their properties on the market. Not uncommon to see a low rise of, let's say, 75, 80 units with nearly half of the building for sale on MLS right now as assignment of contract. So suddenly you're creating a lot of competition for the eyes, because let's be honest, your 1-bedroom and den looks very similar to the other one down the hall, very similar to the third floor, not a huge difference. So now you've got this price war where you're fighting to have the one that sells. People are reducing their price and eventually just giving these properties away at pennies on the dollar in some cases. So those are kind of two reasons why are kind of clumped in on the market right now. That's causing a lot of issues for a lot of people looking to sell their assignments. Now, another one that we've run into recently, which is really pissing me off, is because when I take on an assignment contract, I'm trying to work my hardest to get my client out of that contract. They have hired me to sell, no different than if you've hired me to sell your resale property, your house, your condo, whatever it is. I'm going to do my absolute damnedest to get it in front of as many buyers' eyes as possible. The best tool to get it in front of as many buyers' eyes as possible is obviously MLS. And we already know that in most cases, the developers, especially if they have another development in the area they're marketing, they'll put a cease marketing order. You cannot put it on MLS because we don't want you undercutting the new project on MLS. It's not fair. It's two of our own projects. And that one I get. I mean, we've run into that one for years. But the most recent situation that I've been dealing with for one of my clients is we have basically been told to stand down on all marketing, period. I really am starting to scratch my head figuring out, how the heck am I going to get this thing sold when I can literally do nothing to put it in front of a buyer's eyes? An example of this is I went out to the property and I'm like, hey, I'm going to make a video saying, hey, by the way, we've got some properties available in this development. Let me know if you're interested. Share this with someone who might be interested in moving in here. We got an email from the development saying, hey, we see you marketing the property as an assignment. You can't do that on Instagram or Facebook, so please take those videos down. Okay. Video's taken down. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do then. I'm going to try to send out a big email blast out to our agent database, because at least I'm sending it to agents. They might have a buyer who's interested in this property. And you know what? At the end of the day, it's not public facing. Well, as soon as that email goes out, I get an email back saying, hey, we just heard that you're sending out email blasts. This goes against our marketing policy. Do not send out email blasts as well. I respond with, well, what can I do? I can't put it on my website. I can't put it on my social media. Can't send out emails. I mean, my hands are literally tied right now with what this development is allowing me. And I go, are you even allowed to sell assignments? They go, yeah, you can assign the contract from this date to this date, but you're just not allowed to market it. How in the hell am I supposed to get it out into the buyer's eyes if I cannot market it? So this is something that we're running into right now that I have never run into in my career. And I've been doing this for at least 8 or 9 years with pre-construction and assignments. It is becoming increasingly more difficult from a marketing perspective, from the market's perspective, marketing markets. And of course, we're going into our third one, which is dealing with the sharks. Now, what do I mean by dealing with the sharks? Dealing with the sharks means there are a lot of people out there who are preying on the people who cannot close and are desperate to get out. So they're throwing in those lowball offers and they're trying to see where they can get the deal. Now, if you are an investor, and there's a tactful way to go around this, I think there's some really good opportunities as an investor to go out and help people get out from underneath these properties, help people from getting sued by the developers for non-completion, and getting great prices on properties that you would have otherwise not got on new construction right now. There's really some opportunities out there. And if you're interested in those opportunities, hit me up with the link below. You can sign up for our new newsletter talking about distressed pre-sale condos that are out there. So you can find out firsthand which properties are hitting the market or are even off market so you can take advantage. However, if you're on the selling side, some of these sharks out there are going to pry on your weakness. They're going to be looking to see how desperate you are to not close on this property and the scarcity that you have for possibly getting sued. So they're going to come in with these low offers. And unfortunately, in some cases, they are your only choice. It sucks. And I know, but it's better to get out than the alternative. Again, in that previous video, I already talked about the risks about non-completion of your contracts and sometimes taking the loss on your deposit versus the alternative could be the way you need to go if you absolutely cannot get a mortgage on these properties. But that's just the update on what we are dealing with when it comes to selling pre-construction condos as assignments in the market today. Honestly, if you did invest in a pre-construction condo in the last 2 to 5 years, depending if it's a low rise or a tower, my first recommendation is to have a conversation with a mortgage broker, start getting yourself organized for your completion and close on the property. You can always resell it afterwards when you own it, or you can always put a tenant in there, hold on to it for a few years for the market to improve and then liquidate it later. If you're in a weakened position and you are trying to sell right now, you will be taking a loss on your deposits more than likely, unless you got in at a really spectacular price, because the sharks are in the water right now and the restrictions are heavy when it comes to getting these things sold. Share this video with someone who bought a pre-sale and is thinking about assigning it so that you could maybe save them from making a mistake. Of course, if you found this valuable, like, comment, and subscribe on it, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.